I'm so proud of you for doing the first step of asking for help when you needed help and knowing that you can do this yourself. We believe in you. You got this, girl. You can do it.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
agree with
Dee
Dee Dee. Everything Dee Dee said was good.
Mercury Stardust. She's a beacon of hope in the darkest night. Mercury Stardust. She'll teach you how to make it all alright.
Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Maintenance is a Drag. I feel like every time that I listen to the theme song, I have to just say, party on, Wayne. That reference is going to date me immediately. Anyone who's a millennial and older is just like, yeah, she's one of us. Said. I am joined today by my wonderful good friend who I have not seen for a hot minute. Madison's Entertainer of the Year and one of the funniest drag queens I've ever met my entire life, the one and only Dee Dee Purr, everybody.
Hello, how are we doing, Internet? I love y'all. So excited to be here.
How's it going, my friend?
It's going well in Wisconsin. It's icy cold, just like my heart, and I'm excited to be here with you.
I'm in my Packer gear right now because the Packers are playing the 49ers in the playoffs right now. And instead of watching the game that I would want to watch, I'm here with your dumb face.
You're welcome.
You know what, though? I know the Packers are going to win. Boy, I hope this ages well. And,
oh my God.
And I'm so secure that they're going to be okay that I know I can hang out with my good friend, Dee Dee Purr.
No pressure on me, y'all.
All that being said, for those who are just tuning in for the very first time, my name is Mercury Stardust. I am indeed the trans handyman. My pronouns are she, they, and I am teaching people how to repair things in their own home, regardless if they're a renter or a homeowner. And this is Dee Dee. Dee Dee, what's your pronouns, my friend?
I use she, they pronouns, but Mercury uses dumb/stupid bitch for me, but
This is not even a joke.
No,
So Dee Dee has been Dee Dee has been a friend of mine for a very long time, and when she has been on our stage when I used to host burlesque and drag shows, I had a form that would go out every single week, and it would always be, what's your stage name, what's your pronouns, and pronouns change all the time for people. So I wanted to make sure it was always up to date, and I said that I'll say whatever is in your pronouns, regardless if it's it, they, monster, whatever. This fucking bitch put dumb bitch in the pronouns, and I was like, I gotta commit to this bit now. I gotta do this. And I would present you, welcome to the stage, dumb bitch, Dee Dee Purr.
Literally every time.
And the audience never liked it. The audience never liked it.
No, they were like, this is mocking. And I was like, I'm not mocking. I'm part of the community as well. I'm just like literally dumb and stupid.
Yeah, we're two trans girls doing this. We're two trans femmes making this joke.
Literally.
All that's being said, Dee Dee, today we're going to be helping people fix their things that they have broken with things. Okay. Now, how comfortable are you with the world of maintenance?
I am very comfortable with the world of maintenance. I ask people to fix things for me all the time because I break it. So you got the perfect guest to bring on.
This is why I love doing the show, because every time I have a guest on for this, their answer is, I don't flipping know.
My dad worked in construction when I was younger, and I helped build bathrooms, helped build bedrooms when I was younger. Did I do it well? Do I retain that knowledge today? Kind of. But I did it. I know how to do it, kind of.
We're just happy to be around, you know.
Literally.
We're happy to be here, and we have a house half the time, or the roof above our heads.
Okay.
You know. Yeah. All of that being said, do you want to listen to the first voicemail so then we can get on calling people?
Bring it on, Merc.
Okay, let's do it. Let's roll the first voicemail.
Hi, Mercury. My name is Julie. My pronouns are she and her. I am a fairly recent widow and a homeowner, and I have knocked a pocket door off of its crack inside my bedroom wall.
Oh.
Is there an easy way for me to fix this, or do I have to take the whole wall apart? Thanks a lot. Any help you can give me would be so much appreciated.
Oh, well, we're starting this off
My
with a real
gosh,
somber
Julie.
note. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. First and foremost, we're gonna end up calling Julie in just 1 second, but my heart just goes right out to Julie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna be on our best behavior on this one.
I will try my best.
But do you know what a pocket door is, Dee Dee?
A pocket. No, I was trying to listen. A pocket door. What is that?
So okay, so a pocket door is basically like a sliding door that goes inside of the
Oh.
door frame and into the wall structure, right? It can be a
Oh,
different. It can look in a whole bunch of different ways, but it basically just slides and tucks away in there, so you have no door that swings open, right? It's just like basically like a closet door that just goes into a
Yes.
wall. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to be dealing with. I have some solutions on this. Do you have any solutions you're going to want to give?
I actually took my closet doors off recently, so I could help. I do it myself.
Let's get a call on this person. Oh,
We have some.
we have someone. Julie, is this you? Julie.
Yes, this is me.
Okay.
Hi, Mercury.
How you doing, darling?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
My
But
house is
before-
falling apart, but I'm doing okay.
Okay, well, we're going to do our best to help you. Okay. You know, can I just say right out of the gate that I know you gave us this voicemail today. So I know that you're feeling a lot of emotions today specifically. So I just want to check in with you and make sure you're okay emotionally before we get into a topic that might bring up some stuff. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am doing okay.
Yeah. It's really hard when we lose people in our lives and then we feel like we might not have the ability to do some of these things our own, right?
Right. And we had like a lot of plans. Like, we'll do that when we retire. And then he just wasn't here for that. So
Yeah, that's
now I have to do them all.
Yeah, you know what? And you're going to do a great job, Julie. You really are. When you're walking through the door itself, is there any track that's visible above your head when you're walking through it?
Yeah. Yes.
There is. Good. That's good. Because that means that you can probably fish the door out, and we're going to tell you how to do that in a few ways, and still get the track out. To still get it out of there, right? And that's
Okay.
very doable. You can do that, okay? It's not going to be impossible. It might be pretty difficult, but it's not impossible, okay? Now,
Okay.
Dee Dee and I are pretty good at trying to dig things out that are very I don't know where I'm going with this joke, Dee Dee.
That's why I got these nails,
I-
okay? I
Yeah,
can
that's
dig
why
them
you got
out.
the nails. Yeah. When it comes to tucking, we know our thing or two.
Okie dokie.
Julie's like, no, too much.
No, Julie,
No,
we
it's
got
never
this.
too much.
Good. Oh, Julie, you're wonderful. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, you're going to
Okay.
want just a few tools right out of the gate. The first thing you're gonna want to get is probably a really good knife of some kind, like a utility knife, a sharp knife, anything you got. And then you're gonna want to get like something called a flat bar. And when I say a flat bar, it's kind of like a crowbar, but like a mini flat bar. It's gonna be like 7 to 8 inches at the most. You can get them at 6 inches. And they all come in a lot of different sizes, you know what I mean? And it's not really the size we
Yes.
got to worry about, it's the angle. Anyways, that being said, there is the flatness that we need, okay?
Okay.
And
Right.
the knife is going to be used to cut away any of the caulking that's around the frame, around the trim.
Ah.
And then you're going to take the flat bar and then put it underneath the trim and pop it off. Now, the reason why getting the trim off matters is that might be enough. Like once you take the trim off, it might be enough to have just a little bit of the door sticking out. Maybe. I don't know how far it's stuck in there. But it might be a little bit of that. It might be out, right? And then you can grab it with some pliers, or you can grab it, like, even if you can, like, where the handle, it usually has like a recessed handle that's in the door.
Yes,
Is
it
that,
does.
can you get that at all? Like, is there any way for you to grab that and pull that? When you pull that, it's just like,
I can. It just kind of rocks. I think part of it's still on the track, so it just sort of rocks back and forth. But
so,
I got it closed one night, then I couldn't get it open again.
Okay, yeah. So I think what we can do is just get the door off, right? And then we can always put the door back on at some point too, right? But if we can get the door off, there's a whole bunch of tutorials that will show you how to reinstall it and do all that stuff without taking apart all the drywall. Okay?
Oh, that would be
and
really nice.
that's the part that we always worry about with pocket doors, right? Is it being so difficult for us to get to that we got to take apart the whole wall, and we don't want to do that. So I highly recommend not doing that. You know?
Okay.
But I don't think you have to. I think
I was
taking the
trying
trim
very
off.
hard not to do that.
Yeah, but here's another thing. If you can't get to it, another suggestion would be is to get a drill bit and drill into the door, right?
Okay.
And then to drill into the door, some people are going to think this is like a country bumpkin way of doing this, but I do think
No,
this
wait.
would work.
Is this going to be like using the drill as a handle?
Almost. You're thinking with the right brain. You're thinking with the right part. Okay. Now this is what I'm thinking. When we're dealing with this, you're dealing with a tiny little handle in the middle of the door, right? It's in this. Is not much to hold on to. What I would do, what my brain tells me to do, is drill 2 holes, right, with a drill, and then put an eye bolt in through that. And then you have 2 separate handles that are distributing the weight separately on the door, and that will give you more leverage to work with it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do, actually, and
that might help.
That.
That might help, like, get you some power. Now, you can't close them with those dumb eye bolts on, right? But that might be able to get it out far enough to be able to do some more with it, you know? And then the way that they're strapped to the track is like is basically like a little nuts and bolts that you can take off once you get like a crescent wrench to it or some type of wrench set. So it won't be that difficult once you get the door out a little bit. You can take all the hardware off or tighten the hardware up or whatever you need to do, but at least you can see it. Do you know what I mean, Julie?
Yes, I know exactly what you. Well, see, the good thing is, it's the door to my potty, and I live alone. So if it doesn't work, I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Yeah, and we don't want that either, you know? And here's the thing. If we take the pocket door off for a hot minute and we put up a curtain, there's nothing wrong with that too. I did that when I was a kiddo.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not a big deal. Whatever you got to do to make it work for yourself. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think that's a good start. That's a good start. And then, you know, there's a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials out there that can kind of get you the rest of the way that you might be able to find, you know, and all you want to put into YouTube is pocket door off track, and then you will get a whole bunch of stuff. The only thing that's hard to find is getting it out of the pocket. That's harder to find. So if we can get that fixed, it will be okay.
Okay, so if I take the trim off around the door,
I
should be able to pull the pocket door. I mean, I can grab it. There's enough to grab, but I just kind of have to hop it if I want to move it. So if I take the trim off and then I have access to the track, I should be able to pull the door off the end where I took the trim off.
Yes, that is so good, Julie.
You got this, girl.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you got this. I mean, I have full confidence that you are going to be capable and able to do this, especially if your daughter helps or anything like that. Like, I know you're going to be okay. All right.
And I'm going to impress the daylights out of my son-in-law, who looked at it and said,
I bet. Now, here's the
Yeah.
thing. When you put the trim back on, right? Make sure that when you put the trim back on, you're not accidentally putting nails through the pocket door and the trim. I say that out of
Oh my
experience.
God, I never would have thought about that.
I say that out of experience and not an accusation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there was a time where I took off the trim and I put the installed the pocket door and I put everything back together, and then I screwed the trim right to the pocket door.
Oh my God, Merc.
Yeah, that was a great $80 fuck up.
We learned by our mistakes.
Yeah, exactly, Julie. I'll say this. If you get to a point where you're like, shit, I'm going to tell you right now, the door's not working. So you really can't mess it up more, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
like an ongoing philosophy in my life. It's like, well, I have two options. I can't use it as it is. So
and
if
the worst
fuck it up any further, then we'll just throw it away.
And the worst thing that will happen is that you have the trim off, and then you got to put the trim back on. That's it. The trim is really easy to do that. There's tons of tutorials on that. So as long as you get I think you'll be okay.
It's been kind of a running joke because in the year before my husband passed away, we had, like, for some reason, every single room in my house is missing one piece of trim. Like, there was a piece I caught on my robe and it wasn't hammered in right. And so I took it with me into the room, and he took off the top of a big bay window to get to something, and there it sits. So I'm like, there's one piece of molding in every room in my house I have to put back up. So.
Well, that's good. That's a good memory. I'm happy that you have those. Okay. I hope.
Yes.
So, Julie, do you feel confident?
I don't know if I feel confident, but in my head it works. So if I can, because I can visualize it working. So
yeah.
I think I want somebody here to grab, like, the other end of the door when I do it. But
yes.
I think I can do that.
Yeah, because you don't want to accidentally lock yourself in the bathroom. Like yeah. And if there's two of you pressuring up against it at the same time, kind of like, jarring it out and in, I think it will work just fine, But it sounds like you have a really good concept of how to do this. And I got to tell you.
I think I do.
All of us go through different trials and tribulations. And I got to tell you, this sounds like one that you are designed to be able to get done with yourself. I know you can do this, okay?
Thank you.
You're a wonderful human being. I can tell by the sound of the voice, you're just such a warm human. And I hope nothing but good stuff for the continuation of the rest of the year for you. Okay, Julie?
Thank you. And likewise, Mercury.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
You are so wonderful. I love watching. I watch your TikToks and I watch your videos, and I frequently go, like, I could do that.
Well, you can do that.
So.
Julie, you're so sweet. I appreciate you, and I wish you the best of luck. Dee Dee, you got anything to put in before we jump off here?
Julie, I'm so proud of you for doing the first step of asking for help when you needed help and knowing that you can do this yourself. We believe in you. You got this, girl. You can do it.
Yeah. I agree with Dee Dee. Everything Dee Dee said was good. Okay.
Now you're going to make me cry, so
you know what? We're gonna get off this call before we cry too. Our makeup is gonna get so messed up, Julie.
Oh, thank you so much. 1 second.
Yes.
My daughter has told me I have to tell you that she loves you.
Oh, how old's your daughter?
34.
Well, give my best to your daughter. I never know, because kids love me too. Like little kiddos will love me, and I never know. You know what I mean? When I was on book tour,
she's a little kid on the inside.
Oh, good. Well, so am I. So am I. So is Dee Dee too. Honestly, this is great.
Yes.
Oh, wait, take care. Bye, Julie.
Thank you so much.
No problem, Julie. You take care.
You're
Okay.
an absolute angel.
Oh,
you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Julie.
Bye, Gigi. Thank you.
You're welcome. I did nothing to help.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Dee Dee. I think here's the thing. Two strong, beautiful trans femme folks coming
Yep.
in and being like guiding lights for people. I think that just our presence
Yeah,
does something, Dee Dee. You know,
yeah, I
and I gotta
know.
tell you right out of the gate, what a sweetheart. This is why we
Yeah,
do this. This is why we do
yeah,
this. You know?
I know. I think of my mom when my dad had passed, honestly, and
Oh.
she was like, I don't know how to do anything. I'm just like doing it all myself. And then she just put her sleeves up and just started fixing it. She was like, I have to do it. There's no other choice.
I remember when my mom died when I was like 21, 22.
Gosh,
And I
wow.
remember I had to teach my dad how to do laundry. We had to teach my
Mhm.
dad how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
And I remember I folded my dad's socks in a way that he wasn't accustomed to. And my dad and I got in a 45-minute argument about the socks. And at some point, it's actually ironic that I'm wearing this shirt because of the story. But I put down the socks and I said, "This isn't about the socks, is it?" And my dad said, "No, it's about the Packers and they're going to lose on a Sunday." Because we couldn't, at that moment in our life, we couldn't emotionally communicate those things. You know, it was
No,
so difficult
no.
for us to admit that we felt lost without this really important person in our life. And grief does
Yeah,
weird things to our brain, you know?
it literally does.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know the things you don't know until you're like, wow, I didn't know this thing even was a thing that I wasn't doing. So yeah. Okay, Dee Dee, all that being said, crack a fart joke so we can move forward. Stop! Stop! Okay, Dee Dee, are you ready for the next voicemail?
Let's go, Mercury. I'm ready.
Woo!
Mercury, this is Rob from Pennsylvania. My pronouns are he, him. I had a question about water heaters. I live in an apartment, and the hot water seems to run out after like 5 minutes, 10 if we're lucky. But I can hear my neighbor upstairs, and her shower seems to last for a really long time. So I was wondering if there's anything I can do on my end to fix the situation, or if this is something that my landlord might have to look at. I would love to hear back from you, so thank you. Bye.
Okay, I feel like anyone who's ever lives in a rental, this is a real thing for us. Like, have you been a renter your entire like adult life, Dee Dee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, same. So like between us, we have like 35 years of rental experience.
Okay.
I will say right away, I love this idea that like this person is hearing their neighbor above them and they're still in the shower. They must be having hot long. Dude, when I'm in the shower and I don't care if it's hot or cold. I'm sticking it out until my butt is cleaned.
Yeah.
I don't care if I lose hot water. I ain't getting out until the job is done, buddy.
No. And I'm the irate person that would hear that and go upstairs and start banging on their door, being like, stop taking showers. I don't get water.
Yeah, what do we find out that this neighbor is the reason why they don't have hot water?
I would be like, let's go.
Yeah, it is on site. Okay, are we ready to call this person? Let's go. Hey, Rob, how's it going?
Hi, Mercury. Hi, Dee Dee.
Hi, it's just us three having a good old chitty chat. I hope that you got a good shower in today. Did you have a good shower?
It was short. I could say that.
Do you live in a cold or a warm climate, my friend?
I actually live in a very cold place at the current moment. We're, I think, like close to 7 degrees right now.
No.
Where do you live? What's your address?
I'm
What's
in
your social security
Pennsylvania.
number? No, you're in Pennsylvania. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a little chilly. That's a tad bit nipply out there. Now, all that being said, how long? So, is this something that happens seasonally, or is this all year long? This is like it.
It's all year long. We're having a problem with it.
Yeah, has it gotten worse now?
No, it's stayed pretty consistent. We're not sure what the problem is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, have you? I mean, I would love to see if you timed this. I would love it. I would love to see time it from the moment that you start the water and then see how long it takes for it to heat up and then also get cold, and see if the consistency like stands. Because if it gets worse, right, calcium buildup could be a huge component to it. And here's the thing. You talked about the upstairs neighbor you think might have hot water longer than you, and that's really hard to know for sure unless you're talking to them. You know what I mean? Like me and Dee Dee were joking that, if I'm in hot water and then all of a sudden it turns to cold, I'm toughing it out. I'm gonna finish that shower.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's hard to know. But if that is the case, I mean, it could be the way that the water is distributed. It could be that by the time it gets to you, it's already going through multiple sources. Are you taking showers at the same time of the day and all that jazz as well, or no?
Yeah, I guess that could be a problem, but we just noticed that she's definitely got a longer time. Like you said, though, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, you don't know either. You don't know, but it's a good assumption to make that she's just up there having a good old time.
Yeah.
Dee Dee, what were you gonna say?
I said,
Dee Dee?
oh, if I was you, Robert, I would be going upstairs and banging on that door saying, I need to get some hot water.
I like how we all immediately assume it's her fault. Now,
literally.
all of that being said, we don't know if that you even share a hot water heater. I would suspect you got a 5-gallon hot water heater. I would suspect it's a tiny ass water heater that's hooked up to your apartment. That's what I would suggest. How long you lived there for?
I've been here for over 15 years, and this is a very old building.
Has this been lasting? How long has this been going on then, Rob?
At least probably the last. What would you say? I'm sorry, I'm talking to my husband across from me. I'd say probably like the last 8 years.
What?
Wow.
Rob,
8
what?
years?
8 years? Rob! Procrastination! Sweet pea! You've been taking cold showers for 8 years? How's your marriage? My God, if I was taking one cold shower, divorce the next day. It would be unbearable to deal with. Oh my God, 8 years. Oh, honey. Yeah, no, you got to tell your landlord. You gotta.
Yeah.
Because if it's probably,
How many people live in this building?
There's 5 different units.
Do you live in a complex? Do you live like in a?
No, it's like a basically like a brownstone almost that's been split up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
are you on the bottom floor or the middle, top?
Oh, we're in the middle floor, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of stuff.
Asked a really good question right there, though. I will add one more thing. I am going to bet that this is one. Boy, that middle one. I'm going to say this is an individual hot water heater. Because if this is like a situation where someone retrofitted a place to be an apartment, would you say that's what? Oh,
it
yeah.
Definitely is. And I
would say there's. Do you know where the hot water heater is to your place?
They're in the basement, and it looks like there's a couple different ones, but I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
That's it.
And
yeah, that's it. Because if you're in a townhouse situation, Rob, and you are like retrofitted, right? That's always a red herring. That's always it. Because that means like you might have a 2 units that are sharing one big one, and then they like to cut costs. They probably got the smaller one and they threw it onto you guys. That might have because think about this. If a place is not designed to be an apartment, right?
Yeah.
It's incredibly expensive to try to retrofit everything to fit. Like you got to have multiple bathrooms. You got to have so much stuff has to happen to be able to be an apartment at that point, right? So the cost, the overhead of that is fucking insane. And then you have to put it in like a hot water heater to try to fit all of them, or individual ones, or multiple, right? And I think they went the multiple route and then cut the corner on one, knowing that, you know, it might not be as much of an issue. So that's what I think happened. I think that's what happened. That's my honest opinion. So hopefully that knowledge works for you and you can figure it out going forward. Okay? I think this is a landlord, please, for the love of God, please. And if you lived there for 15 years, I would poll. Have you had them do any renovations in the last 15 years?
We've actually been most recently getting a lot of stuff done because of the cold weather. Obviously, pipes are leaking here and there.
Those two things are different now. If they're doing it, so okay, like carpet updation or appliance updated or a paint job redone, anything like that?
Not recently. We are on our way to getting a new oven, but that's a whole other situation.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like you definitely have like some type of relationship with a landlord. And I'm definitely like saying it with a squinty eye because you know it doesn't sound like a fun relationship. But all that being said, I would say you lived there for 15 years. You've been a tenant of theirs for a while. I think it's reasonable to say we need something to take a look at this hot water heater. These showers are lasting what, 3-4 minutes or a little less. Yeah, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like that's a long time. You can get secondary hot water heater devices. None of them I would recommend. And there's a reason why I didn't lead with that. You know what I mean? None of it seems really safe to me. I've never used any of them that have made me go, that I'm confident that's not going to cause a problem. You know what I mean? So I mean, you can look into them and see if they're something you want. If that's more of a convenient route than dealing with the landlord, because that's always fun. But honestly, I say go for it. What do you think, Dee Dee?
I honestly think that too, because I had my water heater go out recently. So if you don't even bring it up to them, you never know. Your water heater might go out, might flood apartments, you might not have any warm water at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Dee Dee's really right. Thank you, Dee Dee, because you could make an argument, a real good argument, that there is a safety concern with this hot water heater that unless someone should at least take a look at it. And if it becomes a safety concern, then legally they have to respond to it within a 48 to 72 hour response time, depending on where you live. And you live in Pennsylvania, so I think it's 48 hours on an emergency. So something like that, but I wouldn't hold me to it. But if you Google your state and then, you know, respond time from landlord from, you know, a maintenance request, you'll get some type of language about how long they have to do it for. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you both.
I wish you nothing but hot showers in your near future.
Oh, thank you.
And you know what? I wish your upstairs neighbor nothing but cold showers for at least a month.
Oh,
okay,
no.
I said it.
Catch me on the next flight to Pennsylvania. Okay.
Rob, you've been delightful. Thank you so much for asking this great question, my friend.
Oh, thank you both so much. You have honestly been very, very helpful.
Yay!
I appreciate you. Take care, Rob. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Dee Dee, did you feel like you were left in the dark in that one?
What do you mean?
Like I'm left in the dark because one of my lights burnt out when I was talking. I was trying to set you up. You dumb. I was trying to set you up for a good joke. You dumb. Who's the comedy queen now, beach?
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, all that being said, can someone come and give me batteries, please?
2 seconds.
Please help me.
Yay, we fixed the lights and stuff. I feel like I feel like I'm a god. Let there be light.
Mercury
No, you're not buying
Almighty.
it. Yo, Mercury, do not. Oh my god, can we redo Bruce Almighty, but Mercury Almighty? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, it would be so.
Can you be my Morgan Freeman? Can you be my my god in
A
it?
god?
Yeah,
A
you can be God. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can be God. I love it. You'd be such,
into
you know
it.
what? You look like you would like, like go down and hang out with Adam and Eve and talk trash about Adam with Eve. And then, and the whole Apple thing, that was a misunderstanding. You just wanted to get rid of Adam.
Period.
Anyways, that's my theory. That's my theory in the Dee Dee
Stupid.
is God universe. Okay, Dee Dee. Did you know
Yes.
that I like root beer?
I did, Mercury.
Did you know that I decided to make a whole segment on my show about root beer? Because
Sounds like you.
I know, doesn't it? I have a weekly root beer segment on this show. And every week I test out a new root beer. This week it is
Ooh.
something I can't pronounce. It is Kill Brew with the Hall of Fame taste. I think this is about baseball. I think it's about sports ball. Doesn't it look about sports ball? It looks about sports ball, right?
That looks about sports ball.
Yeah, there's like a diamond maybe, and there's pinstripes, and pinstripes look kind of sporty to me. So I'm going to open this, and I want you to interpret what I'm tasting just by watching me. I want you to guess what I'm thinking about the flavors in my mouth.
All right, I will describe it. It's going to work perfectly.
I am not sure about that. All right, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
We gotta get the opening in there.
Yeah, I want to hear that crack. Ooh. Oh.
Good hang time. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Promising.
Oh, it's a strong, pungent flavor coming from the outfield. Ooh, you do not like it. It does not look like you like it.
I don't know.
Is it sweet?
Mm-mm.
What? It's a root beer and
sweet. You know what? It's like grass. It's like grass. It's not
maybe
great.
That's why it's like a baseball field. Like grass.
Shit! It's like a baseball field. I get it. I get it now. Okay, you're in the outfield and you're bored because baseball's boring. So
they literally picked up each of the little diamonds that you land onto, scooped it up, and put it into a can for you.
That sounds gross.
Yeah, and I would drink it. I would drink it.
I like how even though I don't like this, I'm gonna keep drinking it.
Because you're a whore for root beer. Let's be honest.
This is kind of like my first boyfriend. I didn't like him and I still drank him. Anyways.
Mercury.
I liked him. He was a good guy. Good guy. Anyways. Dee, we're not allowed to be together. We're not allowed to hang out, buddy.
I'm into it.
This is Mercury after hours. Okay. Ooh. But all that being said, it has like a dull flavor taste to it. It doesn't more root than anything. Like you don't only like the actual flavor of root itself. That's very strong in this, more than other ones. There is definitely no real sugar, or it says it has syrup in it. And honey.
Do you have to stir it?
Hold on. This is my story.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to shake cans of soda.
Maybe it's like kombucha. Who knows?
I don't know. If I gotta treat this like it's a fucking chemical experiment, I think something went wrong, baby.
Maybe. Do we check expiration date before drinking?
Oh, that taste is worse. Oh. That was bad. Choices were made. Oh no, I'm going back to the Coke. I'm going back to the Coke.
This makes me happy.
Oh, that was bad. Oh, Not a fan
They
of
all
that.
can't be
Sorry, I
winners.
did that right in the microphone too. I'm so sorry. Oh boy.
I love that on
Okay.
my eardrums.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you're just like, oh, this is just like back in the day with Mercury.
Yeah,
Nothing's
yeah.
changing with her. What is the one subject that you wish you knew more on?
Well, that's a loaded question now, isn't it? I wish
Yeah,
I knew
it is.
more. I wish I knew more about vehicles, honestly. Like
I was
fixing
literally
vehicles.
Bitch, I was gonna say the same thing. I wish that I was also the trans mechanic lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I knew more. I wish I listened to my father when they were trying to teach me when I was younger.
I know a good amount, right? Like I can troubleshoot. I've done spark plugs and I've changed my oil and I've done
Wow.
these things. But there's reasons why I don't do a lot of it is because I'm not nearly as confident about that as I am about maintenance. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
No, I get
I
it.
always worry about giving people the just slightly the wrong information and then taking a 3-ton vehicle on the road and then like, yeah, no, Mercury Stardust said this is how you put brake pads on,
No.
I mean, hey, you know what? You and I know how to put pads on, but when it comes to brake pads, I don't know.
I barely know how to put on either, I'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah, we're so honestly, you and I are so pretty. We're so pretty. It really counterbalances a lot of our like intellectual inabilities, Yeah.
Yep.
If people are just like, oh, Mercury Stardust, she's so smart. I'm like already like, oh, I got you fooled.
Yeah, I was like, you don't know Mercury truly, do you?
No, I love when people will introduce me for like speaking engagements and stuff and be like, oh my God, it's Mercury Stardust. She is a New York Times bestselling author. Is literally the weirdest thing that can be said about me because I feel like it makes me seem like I'm like almost like a desk jockey, or it makes me feel like I'm very much like I will come out and I will rip a big fart and then I will talk in the microphone.
And that's the Mercury I know and love.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I remember I picked my nose once when I was doing a speaking gig. I forgot.
I mean, I feel you. I fart every time I'm on stage. It's natural.
Okay, for those who do not understand how uncomfortable farts can be while you are like just tucked to high heaven and just like wrapped in like whatever you got, and then you've got to fart. That air's got to go somewhere, and there's not. It's like it just like bubbles up right in uncomfortable spots.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
know.
Yeah, hey Dee Dee, that all being said, how's performing these days going, my friend?
I mean, performing's been really great these days. I miss my burlesque family, definitely, but I'm busy. I'm consistently going all over Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota. I actually have my monthly show tomorrow, Mimosas and Musicals, where we
Mimosas and Musicals.
Yeah, it just won an award for being the best show in Wisconsin of all the drag shows. So,
wow, Dee Dee.
yeah.
Dee Dee, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Girl, that's so good. I remember. Okay, now I'm going to tell this story because I didn't tell this story before.
Oh no.
Okay, I remember you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and being absolutely absurd at all my shows. For those who don't know, I ran a weekly burlesque show for years here in Wisconsin. And I would have my friends come and do the show all the time, especially Dee Dee. And Dee Dee is like, I love me some good campy stuff. I love campy queens. I'm a huge fan of it. And Dee Dee one night came up to me before a show and told me what she was doing. In the form people had to fill out to be in the show, they had to tell me the act. I didn't always have time to read the act, but I knew that Dee Dee was going to do something dumb. Dee Dee's MO is always something dumb. Dee Dee comes to me and says, okay, so I know you don't want to have any mess on stage. I know you don't want to do anything gross. So I designed this act to be done on your stage and making sure it's not going to be gross, but I am going to do something kind of gross. And I think you said something around the lines of, I'm going to have my friend Anita Spanks, and they're going to be a nurse, and they are going to stand behind me, and they're going to pretend to thrust their arm up my butt. And I'm pretty sure that I just like looked at you like, and you said, "Oh, don't worry, it's like an anal prolapse number." And you and how does the prop work? Because here's the best part for anyone who's listening. It's not only is this imagery happening, like this is just hardcore stuff happening.
Yeah.
Dee Dee's you use a little God, what is it? You use, what do you use for the prolapse? I can't believe I'm asking you this.
I made my own prolapse. It attaches onto my butt. Yeah, it's fabric, baby. It's not anything bad. It just looks
it's just
bad.
No, it's bad. Dee Dee, it's bad. You can't. Dee Dee, it's bad. I remember. So Dee Dee does this act, and my audience loved weird shit. It went over really well. It always went over really well at 5 stars.
Yes.
Now, where it didn't go over well was the first time I think that Dee Dee competed for our local club show. There is a pageant here in Wisconsin called Miss 5 Nightclub. And Dee Dee decided that for the talent portion of this show, that Dee Dee was going to use this number in front of all these old-fashioned drag queens to be the one that she showcases her talent in. And I mean, here's the thing. The audio is of moaning. The audio that you have is whoa! Like it cuts over the music and it's just screaming. So
I think I want to say an important detail for the audience is that it was just how deep is your love? And I think that was a point that we were missing throughout the whole thing. Was I was getting fisted to how deep is your love.
I always forget what song it was, but you're right. It was, but you did this at the pageant, and the entire audience looked like they had seen like a massacre. Like they we just witnessed murder on the stage. It was so bad.
I stand behind it because everyone was taking themselves way too seriously during that, and I was one of the first people in the community to go to the pageant and say, F you, I'm going to do whatever I want and have some fun with it.
That was a part of the era, especially for us here in our little town, where we were really pushing this notion of drag and burlesque can be anything. And all bodies are burlesque bodies, and all bodies are drag bodies, and all art is art. And I admired you for it, but I gotta tell you, it's still one of the funniest gosh darn things I've ever seen on stage. I think about it. It lives rent free in my head on a daily. I cannot. I want you to know that the last time I went into the ER and I saw a nurse, I could not stop thinking about your gosh darn number. That's how much it's been in my life. I can't think of nurses, Dee Dee, without thinking of you. Yeah, Dee Dee Purr. Yeah, Dee Dee.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're the absolute worst. Okay, Dee Dee, you want to get back into actually helping people? Not about
people.
I know you. I know, Dee Dee. Okay, Dee Dee. Now the next one we got is actually going to be a one that we're gonna. It's just a written one. Okay, I'm gonna read it out for us, Dee Dee.
Sisters, misters, and my fellow non-binary resistors, I applaud you for reaching the Trans Handyman hotline. Your calls will be answered in the order of your... Just checking, you want this to stay monetized, right? Well, there goes half my script. Any sachet into the world of drag, bold or otherwise, would not be complete without the man People magazine dubbed the drag queen of the century, who's been labeled the Godzilla of drag, and who John Waters himself lauded as the most beautiful woman in the world. Almost. Yes, we here at Mercury Stardust Studios do seek to encapsulate the enthralling allure that is divine. Now, if you know anything about drag, you know it's not just a race to the top, but over it. Who can be the flashiest, the smashiest, and the downright trashiest? But back in the 70s, drag queens wanted to be Miss America and be their mothers, as John Waters put it in an interview with Baltimore Magazine. Divine was the one who altered the course of drag queens forever, donning miniskirts, tight dresses, flamboyant makeup, and big, big hair. Divine didn't just break the rules, he smashed them, ground them up, and snorted them for dramatic effect. The Pope of Trash, John Waters, is the world's leading expert on Divine because the two worked closely with one another. Waters' Multiple Maniacs was so salacious, he used to rent out churches for midnight showings so he could sneak the film past the censors. The cult sensation Pink Flamingos, however, was too big to be contained. Famous for a scene where Divine eats a handful of fresh dog feces, the film contained a cult following that's still going strong to this day. This springboarded Divine's career as both a disco star and as an actor. His most recognizable mainstream role was Edna Turnblad in Hairspray. But make no mistake, while some today might see drag as larger than life and more than a little political, Divine was clocked in and clocked out of their outlandishness. He once told an interviewer his favorite part of drag was getting out of it. Some people wear a suit to work, but Divine was rocking wigs and rhinestones on his daily commute. Divine passed in 1988 at the age of 42, just before he was set to guest star on Married with Children on Fox, which certainly would have taken Fox in a different direction, huh? If the spirit of Divine has enraptured and ensorcelled you, consider digging up a copy of Not Simply Divine by Bernard J., Divine's former personal manager. It goes more in-depth into the Queen's life beneath the makeup. Ask your local bookstore to put it in order for you. And remember, as the boss lady likes to say, you're worth the time it takes to learn a little history. Here's Mercury.
We got a wonderful question here today that asks, hello, I just recently became a single parent and my ex took all the tools. Damn. What are some of the basic tools I need to make sure I can do basic repairs? Dee Dee, how many tools you got at your home, buddy?
I got a few actually. I have a hammer, I got a screw gun, I got a Phillips screwdriver.
Okay, good.
Flathead.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Okay, cool. You know what? You get a C+. I'm proud of you for
Thank
having
you.
anything. I wasn't expecting any tools. So the
Thank you.
besides yourself. So I'm pretty. Oh, I said it.
Yeah.
People are gonna want to say, like toolkits. I don't recommend toolkits. Toolkits are like, you get really bad quality tools, and they don't come in handy when you need them. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
they're like anything that's like cast iron or like cheaper metals can actually strip screws or damage stuff. Yeah, the cheaper metals actually can damage the fasteners that you're working with. So your screws, your bolts, your nuts, all that stuff.
Interesting.
It can actually damage the stuff that you're working with. So I don't recommend getting cheaper tools. I recommend getting tools that are like, okay, today I'm going to do this project and I need these 3 tools. So I'm going to go out and get 3 quality tools. And when I say quality, I mean like never the cheapest, never the most expensive, the middle. Okay? So you go down in that aisle and you get the middle of the prices. That's kind of, I think there's a lot more to this, but I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to know kind of what you're looking for. Sometimes tools, sometimes you're going to get really familiar with one brand. Like I really like Klein tools. Klein hand tools are really good. Craftsman's are decent. DeWalt hand tools are getting better. Milwaukee hand tools are really good. But then you get like Masterforce. I don't trust Masterforce for anything. You know what I mean? So like, you get Skill is another one that I don't trust. But like, sometimes you're on a budget. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to tools, just do whatever you feel best and go by project specific to start with to try to build that catalog. But if there's going to be 4 tools I recommend out of the gate, it's always the same 4 tools for repair specifically. That's your multi screwdriver. That's a 10-in-1. So that's like a flathead and screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver. That's going to be a square bit, and that's going to have all different kinds of bits in there. I like those a lot because you can do a lot with that one tool for like $10. Okay? And that's a pretty good price. And then a utility knife. Utility knives are so underrated. They're so useful for so many projects you'll need a sharp blade for. That like you should just have one around. If you don't have a scissors that's really capable of a lot of stuff, or any type of like great thing, a utility knife really can be a cutters for a bunch of different things. So I highly recommend a utility knife. I always keep one in my little like tool drawer. And we all have tool. When we're renters, we have tool drawers, right? You have one, Pro? Yeah, right? And
Yes,
you just throw it in there. Yeah, you just throw it in there, right? And that's okay. Do whatever you got to do. If you got a case for it, you can keep it nicer, and you'll have it when you need it. But if you don't, it's okay too. And then the one that's never in any the next tool I tell you is almost never in any of these gosh darn toolkits, but it's one of the most important tools you'll ever have, and that is an adjustable groove joint pliers, otherwise known as a channel locks. It is used for like shower heads. It's used for tightening up any type of like hoses or anything underneath your sinks, or tightening up stuff behind your washers and dryers. And it's a universal plumbing pipe essentially. And it is one of the most useful tools, and it's because of the way it is designed. You cannot really get it for any less than $20. You can get some of them for 15, but they're pushing if they're great tools, but $20 is like kind of the part I would get them for. But I'm telling you, if you do repairs and you need like an emergency repair kit, that is like #1 tool I would get.
Wow.
And they're never in toolkits because they're too expensive to put in a toolkit. Toolkits are anywhere between $25 to $45, right? If you put that in there and a decent quality tool, I mean, even at the cheapest, it's $14. Do you know what I mean? So like,
no, I do.
It's already it jacks the price up right away. And I have gotten ones in toolkits. I've bought toolkits just to try them out, to try that specific tool out, and they are useless. Now, I got a toolkit about 2 years ago to try to review here, and it was like a Bixby, and this Bixby channel locks was like the way it locked was very unreliable. It has like a big mouth and teeth on it, so it can go get wide and it can get narrow. And those locking mechanisms on it were so unreliable. And the metal, when I put it on metal, is I kind of test cast iron tools by putting on metal, and I see if I can grain away the teeth. I could dull those teeth like that. So
that's scary.
And that's the thing. If you use it on piping or use it in a situation where you're desperate and you just made it worse, oh my gosh, like that's scary. Then it costs you way more. Then the money you didn't have to buy to like use someone as a technician gets worse. Then it's not a $250 job; it's a $500 job or something.
Jeez.
So those are the first three. And the last one I will say is a metric and standard set of Allen keys. Do you know what Allen keys are?
No idea.
Allen keys are like an octagon. Like they're like set screws. They use a lot. I don't know if this makes any sense. I'm gonna throw it on the screen so people can see it. But basically, these hex tools, they're called hex tools. Yeah, for those who don't know, this is all happening in post. Dee Dee has no idea what's on the screen right now. You are such a liar, Dee Dee.
Oh my God, yeah, those.
Yeah, I hate you. That being said,
I have these at home. I know what these are.
Are you actually seeing them? I don't know if Basil's actually showing you or not.
No.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, they are actually showing me. So I do know, Mercury.
You are the biggest bold-faced liar I've ever met in my entire life, and this is why we're best friends. Okay, but those are the 4 tools I would get, and then the next step up would be like your torpedo level, your tape measure, your hammer, and then your drill. Those will be the next 4. And sometimes you have local tool libraries. They'll have a tool library or a maker space that you can borrow stuff from. Sometimes libraries will actually have tools that you can borrow from. Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. You don't need to just invest your own money sometimes. You can start and see if you use it. If you don't use it, then you don't need it. Dee Dee, how did you get into performing?
I got into performing. So I had been wanting to be on the stage for years. I had done theater when I was younger. And then when I got into the drag scene, I found a place where they accepted amateurs, and I just started putting myself out there. That's the big thing about performing and any type of field that you want. You have to have that confidence behind you. You have to just put yourself out there. You have to try it. You're not always going to succeed. I definitely didn't when I first started.
Yeah.
And you got to be ready.
That's perfect.
For criticism.
If you're confident enough in your skill set to start the process, and knowing that the least amount of knowledge that you're going to possess in this field, if you go down this journey, is right now. Right now, you are going to be the worst that you're going to be at it ever. Going forward, you will only get better. And I think that's a really important aspect of it. Same with drag, same with burlesque, same with all the things in life. When we start these journeys, we have to start at some point. And when we are working towards bettering our knowledge and everything, we will get to a point that we are better at it. It just naturally happens. You'll always look back 5 years from that point and go, "Ooh, boy." You know, I look back at Dee Dee's old drag photos all the time and go, "Oh boy."
You were rotten.
I know. I set you up. I've been playing the long game with that joke.
Oh God. All right. You bitch.
I know. I love you.
I also take.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, go on, babe.
I was gonna say I took a piece of advice from Bob the Drag Queen when they ran for Drag Race. They had a sense of delusion. They were delusional, thinking that they were the best person, and they ended up winning. They didn't necessarily agree. Like now, they don't necessarily think, "Oh, that was the best one there. That was the best look." Blah blah blah. But they, in their mind, thought they were the best that they could be, and then they just put it out into the world, and they ended up doing the best.
I think that a lot of cisgender men, especially in a lot of these fields, feel similar. And I think that energy can sometimes make us feel like we're inferior, right? Because we don't naturally feel that way. And especially as people who are AFAB or feminine world, we're not taught that confidence for us is an asset. It can sometimes be, a deficit in some people's eyes. Right. So I think that in a lot of ways, it's like reframing how we view this and being like, when it comes to this, you are great. You can make this work. You can make it happen. We're talking about a path to get into this industry. I will say a tech school is one of the best ways to go. So a trade school of some kind, any type of local trade school will be good. There's apprenticeships all over the place.
Yes.
And I will tell you right now is the best time to get into trades, period. The demand right now for people in the industry is astronomical. It is wild. And the demand for people who are not cisgender is even more wild. Like cisgender men are the status quo of this industry. And there's people who will pay very good money to feel more confident around people who are of the trans, queer, and femme communities. So, I'm just saying we need more diversity in this space. I think it would breed more success and innovation if we do that as well, because diversity brings innovation. Diversity brings, different ways of solving problems. And I think that's a positive thing to contribute. So all of that being said, those are the routes I would go. There's also a lot of certifications that you can go through, but I think you start the process by going to a trans school and then knowing that there's a very good chance you will be the only person in that room who's not a cisgender man. And that is something that's just very common in the field that we work in, and that's okay. That's okay. But don't let it discourage you that your professors and your teachers and your educators are all that as well. So it's just, take up space and be confident within that world. I mean, hey, for me and Dee Dee, we're two trans femme people in industries that are predominantly made for people who are not this, So You know, it's very, you know, for Dee Dee too. I mean, her and I both have very different paths to us coming to our identities. But like, I mean, it's interesting for me as a performer. I was often looking for spaces where I felt the most comfortable, and I was often in spaces where I was like not comfortable. But I just kept on taking up space that made me feel confident about myself, and that led to me finding discoveries about my own identity. And I think that can happen as well.
And Fox, you doing this and being in this field, your presence is important because, like, me and Mercury saw other trans femme people in our community, and that helped get us to the place that we are now. So you never know, you being in this field might help someone else that you're helping out be like, oh, it's important for me to be myself. So
yeah, absolutely. Dee Dee, you are so smart. That's the first time in our entire friendship. That's the first time in our entire friendship I've ever said that you were smart. And I gotta say, I'm so sorry that I finally lied to your face.
And I am so glad that it was on recording too, so that I can play it back for you. Over and
oh
over.
no, you got the last laugh. Oh, the comedy queen getting the last laugh. Who would have thought? Don't shake your boobs. This is a family friendly show. You
talked about fisting 5 minutes ago. Okay.
Okay. Dee Dee, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show today, my friend.
My God, thank you so much for having me, Mercury. I love you.
Do you have anything you want to plug besides your butt?
Oh. I want to. Everything's falling apart right now.
Just adjusting your cleavage in full-on camera view.
I want to plug my social media presence, which is non-existent, but you can follow me on all platforms at Dee Dee Purr, DeeDeePurr. If you are in the Wisconsin area or Midwest area, come up to Madison, Wisconsin. You can come see me at 5 Nightclub.
Dee Dee is one of the most extraordinary people I've ever met. It's been an honor to be with you this last hour. And I know that we always say this between each other, but you are truly an inspiration to me all the time, my friend. And I'm so happy that we take up space together. And I'm also really happy we're two trans femmes now, because we haven't talked a whole lot since you've come out. So I just got to say, look at us, two trans girls. Yes. I hate us.
Thank you so much, Mercury, for having me today.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you for making it sincere after I was trying not to. Dee Dee, you take care. And remember, as always, for those who are watching at home, you're worth the time it takes to learn a new skill. Bye-bye.
You're worth the time it takes to be you. She'll teach you how to fix your house, how to